Hello, today I'm going to be discussing the cooling of the caldera. It is a far too risky plan. Also, for all that risk, it is pretty ineffective. I will be bringing up 7 different points to help back my opinion. So for my first point, cooling the Yellowstone caldera volcano would take far too long, and while we're waiting for it to cool, the amount of money that it would be spending, we just don't have that right now during our recession, especially now with this pandemic that is happening. TheNextWeb.com said if successful, NASA would cool Yellowstone at an estimated rate of a meter, which is 3.2 feet, and that's going to be per year. At that rate, it would take thousands of years to cool the caldera significantly, and even longer to ensure that it is no longer under active threat of eruption. Unfortunately, it would eat up an estimated $3.4 billion of an organization's money who just doesn't have the budget to be spending that kind of money. So a disadvantage is that it's going to be expensive. And my second point would be using geothermal energy can cause surface instability leading to earthquakes. ConserveEnergyFuture.com states construction of geothermal power plants has the potential to cause surface instability and trigger earthquakes. California is already prone to having earthquakes, so this is just an added, not necessary added threat for earthquakes. Conventional geothermal power plants construction involves drilling hot rocks that contains trapped water or steam in its pore spaces and natural fractures. When these fractures are intersected with a drill hole, the trapped water erupts as steam due to an instant drop in pressure. The drill itself may not trigger earthquakes, but the rupturing of steam and subsequent return of the used water to the hot water reservoir could then could cause a cycle that leads to instability along fracture lines, resulting to an earthquake. So my third point is cooling the caldera by drilling into it is far too risky. I already stated that it could cause earthquakes, which isn't really ideal. So Professor Holland stated that NASA's plan could cause a super eruption. He stated, would it work? Probably not. It would be the largest geothermal power station, but I don't think it's going to work. Plus, this is also a potential danger. By cooling down the edge, the perimeter of the caldera, it might crack, causing fissures, and actually would cause it to explode, which is not ideal. The end result is not getting the volcano to explode. My fourth point is an advantage was proposed that geothermal power plants at Yellowstone could be a good idea, but actually they're very environmentally unfriendly. Removing liquids from the crust during drilling may inadvertently cause greenhouse gases and other chemicals to be released into the air and polluting the air. Everson.com, ecological problems. High environmental consumption of fresh water can be a loss for the environment, which would lead to its defects. Liquid extraction from the earth during drilling could cause a large number of toxic chemicals. I don't know how to pronounce this one. Arsenic and mercury, I know that one, as well as greenhouse gases such as hydrogen sulfide, carbon dioxide, methane, ammonia, and radon. So this is also a potential threat to our air quality, and by the sounds of these gases, I don't think that is a good thing. My fifth point is who embarks upon this project will die before the project is ever completed. This means that nobody will actually know if it's truly successful. As morbid as that sounds, the BBC.com says, however, those who instigate such a project will never see the completion or even have an idea whether it might be successful within their lifetime. Cooling the Caldera, cooling Yellowstone in the manner that would happen at a rate of 1 meter, like I said before, 1 meter per year, taking the order of tens of thousands of years to just cold rock was left. Although Yellowstone magma chambers would not need to be frozen solid to reach the point where it's no longer a potential threat, there would be no guarantee that this endeavor would ultimately be successful for at least 100 years or possibly thousands of years. So my sixth point is geothermal energy can be used to geothermal energy can lead to an increase of greenhouse gases and harmful gases. The construction of energyinformation.org states that construction of geothermal power plants can affect the stability of land. In fact, the geothermal power plant has led to subsidence motion of the Earth's surface in both Germany and New Zealand. Earthquakes can be triggered due to the hydraulic fracturing, which is an instinct part of developing enhanced geothermal systems, power plants. My last point is what would happen if the volcano were to erupt. A lot of points made by the affirmative stated that it would be a huge explosion killing an entire population, basically all of California. This isn't true. The Vox.com said the supervolcano underneath Yellowstone has had another massive eruption. If it had another massive eruption, it could spew ash for across 1,000 miles of the United States, damaging buildings, smothering crops, shutting down power plants. It would be a huge disaster, but that doesn't mean we should all start freaking out. The odds of this happening are pretty low. The first eruption occurred 2.1 million years ago. 1.3 million years ago, and another one 664,000 years ago. So it is not due to erupt anytime soon. And yeah, thank you.